So I'm going to be sharing with you guys exactly the exact mods that you need if you want to make your 5.7 Hemi Ram pretty fast. I'm going to be sharing with you guys in this video right now. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my list that I came up with. You know, I'm pretty sure it's the same as, you know, somebody else, but that you could, if you're looking to make power with your 5.7 Hemi Ram stock Ram 1500, and you looking and you trying to figure out which mods you got to do to get it to make, you know, as close as what a TRX could make, or probably even faster, then I'm going to be sharing with you guys the exact mods, pretty much my list that I came up with that you can follow if you want to make some road power with your 5.7 Hemi Ram. Doesn't matter if you got a single cab or quad cab like me, you still could be able to make some road power. But just to be straight up front with you, this is something it's not going to be cheap when it comes to modification. That's actually like good mods is not cheap. But if you're talking about some crappy shitty mods, then that's not, you know, obviously that's going to be cheaper, but you obviously get what you pay for. But I'm going to be sharing with you guys actual mods that I know for a fact a lot of these Ram have, and they are making crazy amount of power that you could do, but it all depends on how deep your pocket is. So, but with that being said, before I get into this video, I want to say, if you are here on my channel for the first time, definitely I want to say I appreciate you taking your time out your day to be able to click on my video. And also, if you're a fan of Mopar or a fan of, to be specific, these 4th generation Dodge Ram, definitely this Ram is my 2014 Dodge Ram, and I have a lot of mods coming for this truck. So I'll ask you, if you want to stick around, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I would definitely appreciate it. Now, let's get into talking about modification for your 5.7 Hemi Ram to make it go fast. I'll say go fast mods and stuff. So now I'm going to go over 2 different parts. So if you are looking for budget friendly, and then if you don't have a budget at all, you trying to spend some real money, I'm going to be sharing with you guys that after the first step of the budget friendly for the guys who, you know, just got their truck and they, you know, trying to save up and stuff, but still want to be able to add some mods and stuff here and there. So now these mods right here probably gonna run you probably at least, probably I'll say most, with everything I'm about to say right now, is probably gonna run you probably at least like $2-3 grand and stuff like that. Now these are actual mods, that good parts. I'm saying you ain't buying none of this from on eBay or whatever, this and that. But number one, obviously you got to get a core air intake. That's the first thing I'll say. Get a core air intake. Doesn't matter what kind of core it does. Well, let me stop right there. It does matter what kind of core air intake for me, because number one, you want to go with a good aftermarket core air intake. Number two, you don't want to go with I wouldn't suggest you going with the metal, the ones with the metal on there. Go with the plastic ones. But there's different kind of brands. There's Corsa, I think JB or something, J something, I forgot what the name is, but the one I have on here is the Air Raid core air intake. But there's a bunch of different kind of brands out there. So that right there gonna run you about, out the door, probably gonna run you, let's say, I'll say $400 for a good solid good core air intake. $400 and stuff. Now the next one I'll say, now this is the next step where I'll say looking to get into probably a 6-4 truck intake manifold, for the Ram trucks. This, get rid of the 5.7 one that's on there. That right there gonna probably run you at least, getting it probably a bigger size injector, probably you got to get it tuned, and then also I think it's something else I'm missing, but you got to get a porter. So that's probably gonna run you at least like close to like $1,000, or it depends. Now these are, I know I said the budget's like 2 grand, but it could be a little bit over that. But I'm saying these are like the not crazy couple thousand. I'm saying like you're not spending couple thousand, like 10,000 or $8,000 and stuff like that. But it's still in the price, affordable and stuff like that for you. Now, core air intake, and then you got your 6.4 intake manifold. Now the next thing is you got to go with the aftermarket custom headers. I'll say long tube headers, no short tube headers. Long tube headers gonna help your truck a lot, especially if you got that 6.4 truck intake manifold on there. It's gonna help a lot, make a lot of power, also make some good amount of power, also sound good. Now I will recommend, because this could be a little bit pricey, get just the long tube headers first, and then after that you could get like the exhaust system, do a full catback exhaust system or whatever your taste is. But sometimes you can buy both, but you'll probably be looking at least like good $2,500 for just long tube headers and aftermarket exhaust. Like, it's pricey, but it's gonna be worth it. Now with what I just said, long tube headers, aftermarket exhaust, the 6.4 truck intake manifold, excuse me, and then the core intake, with those 4 things alone, now what really gonna be everything to glue everything on is you getting the custom tune. Now the custom tune, I think it depends on where you at. I don't know, wherever state you in, this and that, who doing what or whatever. It depends on what they charge. Could be anything from $500 to $1,000. Now with all of that, I guarantee your truck gonna be fast. It's gonna be pretty fast, but it's not gonna be like crazy fast though. But it's gonna be like definitely gonna give you like a damn, like if you're doing like a I say probably like a 60 pool or something like that, it's definitely gonna give you that feeling. Now on the other hand, for the guys who don't have a budget and willing to spend whatever, now this, honestly, I'll just tell you, now what I would do is strictly get rid of the 5.7 Hemi block, do a 6.4 block, and that off the rip you're gonna be looking at 7 grand, somewhere around there, 7 grand with everything, because you got to get little things and stuff like that. But everything gonna be able to bolt right on in this truck. So your headers, if you still got long tube headers, everything gonna be able to bolt and stuff. Now you got the 6.4 block that's capable of making at least 1,000 power, 1,000 to the wheels. Now the next thing I'll say is to go, it depends on your taste, chores, whatever. Me personally, I recommend a Whipple supercharger. If not, you can go with I think Edelbrock or something like that. But there's different kinds out there though. Or you can go with just like a turbo supercharger. But me, I think overall the best thing that worked the best with these trucks is the Whipple supercharger. I believe it make the most power in my opinion. But nowadays I see these trucks with I don't know if it's a new thing, but I'm starting to see Hellcat supercharger on these trucks, which is kind of cool and crazy to me in a good way. But I still pick a Whipple supercharger over the Hellcat supercharger. Or there's guys out there who I know who they done do the whole Hellcat swap on these trucks, which I do know is a little bit more complicated. But if you got a big, if you got a huge budget, then all of this stuff, like you could either do the Hellcat swap on here, or you could probably do the 6.4, just this regular scat pack block. It's the same similar thing, but some things are the same, but you're just gonna be able to make more power. But with that, easily the block you can get gonna be able to make you 1,000 wheel easy. And then also obviously the Whipple supercharger. And then with all of these things, now you're going up to where it's like all of these changes. Now you have to do, the next thing you got to do is get I think you got to do torque converter, and then you got to do you got to probably rebuild your trans, or you could buy a trans, whatever. Rebuilding will be like the cheaper way. Now all of this mod I just told you guys right here, suicides, if you got now if you that guy that don't has a budget and you willing to spend whatever, then I personally think that would be the best route for you to make a crazy, like once you do all of that with that swap, you're gonna make a crazy amount of power. You're probably gonna be close to running. Now I don't know with crew, I say like a quad cab or crew cab because they heavier. Now, I don't know if you might be able to run, but you'll be able to be fast as hell though. I'll tell you that. You're probably gonna run close to like 11, probably 11s, probably low 11s, somewhere around there. Depend on whatever else you decide to do. And then also camshaft, I forgot to mention, you can throw that in. But all of this right here, it all depends on your budget though. But this really is the list if you're really trying to make your 5.7 Ram 5.7 Hemi crazy fast. And this is how I would do it if I'm on either way. You know, you can still start off with you having a light budget, and then you transition over. You can buy things little by little, like me. That's what I'm doing. But that's the best way to do it. Hopefully, excuse me. Hopefully, this could be able to help the next person decide on whatever they want to do. Definitely feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.